There is more to me, Queen Eliara of Elfgard, than my elven magic. Just as there's more to Geico than saving you money, Geico also gives you 24/7 access to licensed agents online, on the phone, or on the Geico app. And while I am a mighty elf queen, I am also a mighty big fan of barbecue potato chips. Minions! More smoky mesquite.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
For reals?
For really reals.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back in the New York groove. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks is taking no shorts, just like winter.
New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Hey, welcome to the New York Knicks Podcast, episode 300 and... Holy crap, we've done a lot of these. 336. I am Jay. With me is Marc. And we have special guest Bry, who is a regular on our Brink of Sanity comedy podcast.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bry, trivia question.
Yes.
346, the episode number we are on.
Yes.
Is that more or less coaching losses than Kurt Rambis has?
Less.
Okay, cool. I don't know.
Damn.
Damn it. Okay, so we have not been on for 2 weeks. NBA playoffs are going on. Jay, get us caught up. Go, Jay. Go.
Well, don't you want to talk about Knicks first?
Oh, okay.
It's the Knicks podcast.
What do we... Oh, the Knicks aren't in the playoffs? I'm shocked.
And that is all the Knicks news.
What do you want to talk about? Okay, Knicks talk. The Knicks were going to interview people. They didn't.
The
Kurt
Knicks said...
Rambis may or may not be getting the job. The interview...
Oh, he's getting it.
Yeah.
The Knicks said, hey, look at all these awesome coaches available. Let's see how long they want to wait before they sign with other teams.
Well, they weren't going to interview any of the... Okay, Thibodeau is on the Timberwolves. Timberwolves will be very good.
He got a 5-year deal and presidential role?
Yeah, well, we weren't going to give that to him. Luke Walton wasn't coming to the Knicks. Now he's on the Lakers.
Is Luke Walton the third Affleck brother?
Yes. He's kind of overrated, I feel like, Luke Walton. I mean,
Overrated?
I could have coached the Warriors to...
He had a better record than Kerr this year.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, like, that team, like, it's Kerr's team.
You'd rather Rambis?
No,
Exactly.
I'm just trying to make myself feel better.
No, this is why we're mad, because he's better than Rambis.
Well,
Why don't the Knicks just hire that, what's his name? The dude that's coached like every team. Mike Brown.
Larry Brown?
No, Mike Brown.
No, Mike Brown's terrible.
Well, so is Kurt Rambis.
That is true.
Why don't the Knicks hire a bag of sand? That's ridiculous. So is Kurt Rambis.
And Scott Brooks went to Washington. I'm not too broken up about that one.
I don't really mind that one. I mean, he had Durant and Westbrook, more talent than we'll ever have in our lifetime, and he couldn't win shit, so...
He also thought Kendrick Perkins was a starting center for about 4 straight years.
Yeah, so I'm not really upset we didn't get Scott Brooks. The new one on the table is Frank Vogel. He may not be re-upped by Indiana. Would you take Frank Vogel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why? Because he, like a bag of sand, is better than Kurt Rambis?
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job with... I mean, he only missed the playoffs once, and that was when Paul George shattered his leg.
Yeah, no, I think he's a solid coach. I mean, he's got a track record. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't think Porzingis is a post-up only player.
Our buddy William Lee posted on Knicks Daily that the Knicks only talk to Blatt as like a front, and they're actually not interested in anybody except Rambis.
Is it like the Rooney rule in football? You have to talk to a foreigner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Blatt still in the picture or not? because he's the only one that seems to be consistently still in the picture, just because no one's hired him.
Because he's literally the only guy we've talked to.
Well, the Kurt Rambis negotiations must be going on, where like Kurt Rambis is like, I'm holding out for more money and more years, and Phil Jackson's like, okay, I'll try to get more money, more years. Dolan, what do you think? And Dolan's like, are you kidding me? I'll give him minimum wage. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll go back and forth a little bit.
I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what to think.
I mean, I don't understand why. If he wants Rambis, why doesn't Rambis have the job? That's what I don't understand. It's not like there's another person seeking. No other team is seeking Kurt Rambis' services.
I don't know what's happening. It doesn't. None of it makes sense.
Why hasn't is he waiting for the fans to just be like, fine, hire Kurt Rambis. Okay, we got him. I don't understand what he's waiting for. If he wants Kurt Rambis, then just sign Kurt Rambis.
You would think, yeah, but that's not.
Maybe
that's
Rambis doesn't want it. I don't know.
Kurt Rambis is like, you want me to coach this awful team? Let me see what you do this summer with free agency. Then I'll decide if I'll coach.
So our email is nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. Sid Vicious writes, if the New York Knicks cease to exist, which one of the 29 other teams would you cheer for?
How would they cease to exist?
I thought he was going to say, would anyone notice?
I mean, a lot of teams would have a lot less wins.
That is true.
Do they mean just mid-game, like does Harry Potter comes and makes them disappear?
Well, what if Dolan says, I'm sick of everyone making fun of me. I'm just taking my team and going home.
Like suddenly the Knicks are playing in the Israeli league?
Yeah. He's like,
Okay.
I sold my team to China.
The Knicks are going to play the Globetrotters from now on.
Exactly.
Knicks are still losing, but they don't realize they're supposed to be losing.
Yeah, still falling for that ball and a string gag.
Melo keeps going. He fouled me with that ladder.
I would say Spurs. The only bad thing about
I see. You picked the second best team in the league. Okay, cool. Way to just pick a really good team with a dynasty type history.
Yeah, why would I take another
You have to pick another
Harvard?
suffering team. Here's a better question. What team do you think you could root for when you'd have an equally awful time? What would be as painful as rooting for the Knicks?
In basketball?
Yeah.
No,
I know if you did football, it'd be the Jets.
Rooting for the Nets.
I guess would you have to go across that? Would that be go to Brooklyn, or would you root for the Sixers? You know, I know, Steven, if you're listening, the Sixers' grand master plan is amazing, and wow, they're going to win 20 titles very soon.
I'm thinking maybe the Bucks, because every year you think the Bucks are finally going to get better, and then they don't.
Here's a question: if Kidd is let go by the Bucks, would you hire Kidd?
Yeah.
I mean, the last time when we won 54 games, he was basically our coach.
There's not many people I wouldn't take, knowing that the alternative is Rambis.
Okay, let's play the Brian.
It's kind of like in politics. Who would you want other than Ted Cruz? Oh, anybody running.
Okay, let's do it. Ted Cruz or Kurt Rambis. Ted Cruz, mind
As president or coaching the Knicks?
Coaching the Knicks.
I would rather have Ted Cruz coach the Knicks and Kurt Rambis be president.
Yes. Yeah.
Donald Trump or Kurt Rambis. Coaching the Knicks, not president.
Same thing.
Coaching the Knicks?
Trump
Yeah.
coaching the Knicks and Rambis president.
Okay. How about an 8-year-old girl? You can pick whatever 8-year-old girl you want.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kurt Rambis.
I'll go with Kurt Rambis.
Okay, Brian takes Kurt Rambis over an 8-year-old girl. Jay?
But then again, I'm not a Knicks fan, so I'm not even a basketball fan, actually. So
I would probably go Rambis on this one, but
okay.
I did have to think about that.
Why do you think Kurt Rambis would do a better job than an 8-year-old girl?
Only because the 8-year-old girl probably doesn't know any plays.
I'm going to say by the time you're 8 years old, you can identify a triangle.
Although her scolding Carmelo would be really funny.
Okay. How about a Brooklyn hipster who only eats kale salads, or Kurt Rambis?
How about the kale salad?
Yes, a kale salad or Kurt Rambis.
I'll take the kale salad.
Yeah, I would go with kale salad because I feel like the players could probably figure things out on themselves better than Rambis.
I'm going to guess the kale salad substitution package will not be very good or audible, or I'm going to say the kale salad will do less harm than Kurt Rambis. What about a key general in ISIS?
Those guys know how to get stuff done,
They
I
do.
would take.
And if you take a general from ISIS, they're probably going to end up doing more basketball stuff and less murdering civilians.
Less ISISing.
Yeah, they are going to probably put less icing on everyone.
And if the players screw up, they might behead them. So
Just be really motivated to perform.
yeah,
Do you think members of ISIS call things icing?
I doubt it. They don't even call themselves ISIS, do they?
I don't know what they call themselves. ISIL?
Could we have on the next Knicks podcast a member of ISIS to kind of give us some information?
We should do that for Brink. Get a member of ISIS and then just ask him about 80s cartoons.
Do you think we get a lot of downloads if we did an ISIS focused podcast before we?
There was an ISIS app.
There's an ISIS app?
There was. I heard there was it was either ISIS or Al Qaeda, an app. It was it got shut down by Google because they figured out that it was promoting terrorism or something.
So it was like Cars for Kids, only even worse.
Kinda, yeah.
Only 1-877 murder.
I don't think there was any
female.
write-off involved. That's the only difference.
Okay. So getting back to Knicks, is there anything else in Knicks world you want to talk
We
about?
just almost devolved into a Brink show.
Melo said he has not been consulted about who the coach is. What about making
Can
Carmelo
I stop you right there?
player coach?
Can I stop you right there?
No.
No.
I mean, are you going to add something? Or you just want silence?
No, I kind of wanted to chime in with my opinion about something.
You could just actually chime in without asking. Go on.
All right. Well, no. Do you want to know why I hate the NBA? And I know this is out of place that I'm on an NBA podcast.
Oh,
but
yeah, we
you wanna
didn't
know-
mention that Bry barely even acknowledges the NBA.
Bri, if the reason you hate the NBA has to do with the color of people's skin, we're not.
No, that's not it. That's not it. The reason I hate there's two reasons I hate the NBA. The first reason is that of all the sports, it's the least.
We really give a shit about the Knicks podcast
No.
right now. Our guest in the show is a guy that's going to tell us why he hates the NBA.
But I have valid points though, so I want as basketball fans, I want to open up a discussion. All right, so the first reason I hate the NBA is because of all the sports, it's the most predictable playoffs. There's never any upsets. There's never any randomness to it. It's always the two best teams play. And,
this year, Steph Curry's injured, and then
but they're still gonna make the finals.
yeah, probably the only team that was going to be the team that was going to challenge him when he was injured their whole team is injured also.
By the way, Steph Curry said he's probably coming back for Game 3. So
Oh, God damn it!
And the second reason I hate the NBA is for something that you just brought up, and that is the NBA is the only sports league where the teams cater. They go out of their way to cater to their quote-unquote star players who haven't done shit, and they treat them like they're Michael Jordan. And
Steph Curry's won a title. You know that, right?
I'm not talking about Steph. No, I'm talking about you said something of
Melo.
You said you said Melo hasn't been consulted on the coach. Why should Carmelo Anthony be consulted on the coach? And what pisses me off is that psychopath that plays on the Kings.
LeBron?
What's his name?
LeBron?
What?
Oh, no.
on the Kings, you mean Boogie Cousins?
Yeah, that guy. That guy hasn't done shit. Can I swear on this show?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That guy hasn't done shit, and he ran George Karl out of town. Do you know George Karl has more wins than Phil Jackson?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, this guy who hasn't done a damn thing, and him, and that tattooed freak who used to be on the Jazz and they went on the Nets. I forgot what's his name.
No,
Chris Anderson.
No, the black dude. He was on the Nets, Now he's out of the league, I think, because he sucks.
Kenyon Martin?
No, he was on the Jazz. Darren Williams.
Oh, Darren Williams.
Oh, yeah.
That guy got Jerry Sloan run out of town, and Jerry Sloan's one of the best coaches ever. These guys that haven't done shit.
Could they do a big press conference to explain whether it's Darren or Duran?
But they all these teams that are like, oh well, we got to appease our player because how are we gonna go 10-62 if Boogie Cousins is unhappy? Well, how about you try a little better,
Of team sports, the team sport where one player can have the greatest impact is the NBA because they're
well, that's true. But you got these players that haven't done a damn thing, and everybody's just like all the owners and the GM like they just get they get turned over like every 2 years because the star players like, well, I don't like that coach. It's not my fault that we only won 12 games this year.
It's I mean.
Like right now in the NBA, if the season started today in the NBA, there's 3 teams that could probably win a title.
Yeah,
it is kind of like when people talk. I listen to talk radio and they'll start talking about should the Knicks trade Melo, and then some caller will call in and go, "How can they trade Melo? They'll be terrible without him."
Right?
Like they're terrible with him. What's the difference? An extra loss?
And they were talking about at the trading deadline, like, oh, the Rockets, they didn't trade Dwight Howard. They're going to lose him for nothing. So then you have cap room. Isn't that what you want, cap room? Like, why do I want 3 shitty players for 1 shitty player?
Yeah. Later in the show, Brian's going to give his rant why he hates bunny rabbits.
While I'm ranting, while my blood pressure's going, can I give you 3 names of 3 players that I don't ever want to hear anything ever about again until they actually do something?
Sure.
Sure.
Right. Wait. Let me guess first.
Okay, 3 players that piss you off until they do something.
They get so much acclaim and they haven't done anything.
Okay. Can Jay and I both guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Chris Paul's got to be one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wake me up when that guy does something, accomplishes something.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the crap they give Melo for not winning, and Chris Paul has won just as much as in the playoffs, neither one's done jack shit.
Melo's been farther. Chris Paul has only been out of the first round once.
Chris Paul made one shot against the Spurs last year that I still don't believe he actually made.
I mean, he's a very good point guard, but they also go, well, Chris Paul doesn't have any help. I mean, he only has 3 or 4 other really good players on his team.
Yeah.
He has 2 All-Stars and a Hall of Famer on his roster. He needs help.
All right, so you got the first one. There's 2. You probably won't get the third one, but you might get the second one.
Damian
Lillard? Is the second one named Carmelo?
No.
Damian Lillard.
No.
Are you going to say the unibrow?
Yes, I am actually.
I mean, in fairness, his team really does suck, and
but all I hear, oh boy, if I was starting a team, I would take that guy. That guy's always hurt. Has he even been in the playoffs? Yeah, he was in the playoffs last year and he got swept, right?
Right, and he's missed about 20 games per season every single season.
And there's no centers. I mean, there's no other centers in basketball.
Do you think you could win with a traditional center?
You should be able to make the playoffs.
No. Has
in
the
game
East? Has the game? I was listening to Sports Talk Radio this morning, and they were saying how the Spurs back in the day they won with David Robinson and Tim Duncan, kind of a Twin Towers thing, and other teams used to do that. Do you think if you had Twin Towers, could you win in the NBA now?
Didn't the Spurs win 2 years ago with Thiago Splitter as center?
Yeah, but it wasn't like Thiago Splitter was a dominant force.
Traditional center though.
If you have a center that can score, you should be able to make the playoffs. I mean, that's.
Do you think you could run an offense around do you think Shaq would have any issue dominating the league now?
No, definitely not.
Well, Shaq's a bad example because Shaq was just so freakishly big.
That's true. They were just saying on the radio how the game's changed so much that the old offenses wouldn't work anymore.
I don't know about that. I mean,
it's the players. If you have the players, you win. There's 6 teams have won the title in the last 30 years. I mean, it's just you get the best player and you win. That's all.
No, you have to have Phil Jackson. That's the only way you win. Oh. Phil Jackson never had the best players in the league. He just happened to win.
I can't believe you. I didn't think you'd guess that guy. He was the one I didn't think you'd get.
Because I get it. It is kind of ridiculous he can't make the playoffs.
Is the
He's
Jay's going to nail the third one right here.
Kevin Love?
Right first name, wrong last name.
Oh, you're gonna say Garnett?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say he won a title. Kevin, because Kevin Love would have been a pretty good one.
Yeah, but I don't even
He's been
consider.
exposed.
I don't even consider Kevin Love a good player, so I wouldn't even.
He's one of those guys that was good on a bad team and he's completely been exposed.
Yeah.
He's not a terrible player or anything like that, but he's not like as good as everyone was saying. Kevin.
If you don't get this, I'm hanging up.
Jay, can you help me?
I can't even think of another Kevin that's in the league right
Kevin
now.
Durant. Hello.
Oh, come on.
Wake
Really?
me when that guy does something. God, I mean I'm so sick.
He's
of hearing
made
about.
he made the finals before.
Yeah, they got swept, didn't he?
But he's made it to the finals. Like
Big
it's not like he
deal.
hasn't done anything.
Dwight Howard made the finals.
Well, that's something.
That guy is the most overrated player.
I think if you made
in the
the
last
finals-
30 years of basketball. That guy is so soft in a big game.
Who?
Kevin Durant. I wouldn't want that guy. He's a free agent. I wouldn't want him on my team.
Wow.
And LeBron. When's the last time LeBron won a title? God, wake me up when he was good.
If you don't think Kevin Durant's the most overrated player in basketball, I don't know what to tell
no,
you.
Really?
No, I
Yeah.
disagree with that.
Here's a good. I put 2 questions on Facebook. I thought were pretty decent questions today. I thought this one.
I heard. Oh wait, one more thing. I heard. Kevin Durant. I was listening to sports radio a couple weeks ago, and somebody was talking about basketball free agency, and they said, "Oh, I think Durant's going to go to the Lakers, and that Westbrook's going to go to the Lakers next year." And the guy in the caller was like all excited, and I'm like, "They play together now, and they didn't win. What makes you think they're going to win in L.A.?"
That's what I never understand. Also, the Knicks are like, we'll get Kevin Durant, and you're like, oh, he's going to be better when he doesn't have Westbrook on the team.
You could have Kevin Durant.
Did you hear
If
Magic
I was
Johnson?
if I was the Warriors and Kevin Durant was begging for me to go, I would just be like, "I don't think so. I don't need you."
Magic Johnson said the Lakers should target LeBron James and Kevin Durant. That Magic Johnson's got some good ideas.
Yeah, the HIV medicine's got into his brain, I think.
He's like, first the Lakers should target LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Next, he should make sure they don't have AIDS.
Mark Cuban was right about the Thunder, only he was talking about the wrong guy.
What?
And seriously, what was so bad about what he said anyway?
What did he say?
You didn't hear what Cuban said last week?
He said
something
Durant's
about,
the only star on the team, and they're like a one-star team.
yeah.
So you think Westbrook is better than Durant?
No, I don't think either of them are. I always hear, well, they have 2 of the top 5 best players. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
they do. 2 of the top 10 easily. I'm top 5 maybe.
Maybe
So
10.
here's a question for you. You're going to build a team around one player, but you're trying to win as much as possible in the next 5 years. So you got to consider age, health, and everything else. What players you pick in what order? So like just these guys, like you're picking one player, so it's you're not picking a team of 3, just picking one guy to build around. So who's the first guy you'd build around? Who's the best player to build around in the NBA for the next 5 years?
Probably Curry.
I don't know. I feel like he has that injury history, and he's injured in the playoffs. I feel like his ankles are going to get injured again. I would say this goes to the other question I had also today was who's more valuable to the Warriors, Curry or Green?
I still think it's Curry, but you need both.
I don't know. I they look pretty good without Curry. I mean, they need him, but like Green is a monster.
Yeah, but they're not playing anybody.
That's true. But Green has put up numbers that are insane this year.
Yeah.
I would almost want to build around Green.
I would say Leonard.
I would say probably Leonard's my number 1, Green is number 2, and Curry's number 3.
I could see that.
Bry, anyone overrated? Anyone terrible?
I forgot about Leonard on this. You got the guy in the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
I forgot about him. Dude, the problem is when I think of the Spurs, I keep thinking of the 3 old guys, and I keep forgetting about all the other guys they have.
Would you build around like a Damian Lillard? I guess they're not gonna be top 3 though. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I wouldn't build around Durant. I wouldn't build around Paul. I wouldn't build around Blake Griffin.
well, those guys don't make sense. I mean, the Clippers.
I wouldn't build around John Wall. I'm sick of hearing about him too.
Who's 4 and 5 then?
On what?
The list of the top 5 guys to build around. LeBron, you can't put in there because it's for the next 5 years, I figure.
Right. He's 31 now.
Yeah, I figure you'll still be pretty good with LeBron, but there's got to be guys to build. I put Westbrook number 4.
How old is he? He seems like he's been around for a while.
26, I think.
Yeah, he's still pretty young.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, what about the dude on the Bulls?
Derrick Rose.
No, not him.
Someone put when I put the question up, someone put up Towns.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but it also makes me kind of sad that we don't have Towns. Not that I don't love Porzingis.
Yeah, Towns is not bad.
Yeah, Towns could be a star. Who else? I wouldn't be Unibrow, who is injured every year.
No, definitely not Unibrow.
I'd be worried about Durant's feet.
And his vagina.
Yes, and his vagina. I'd be very worried about his vagina. I don't know who else I would pick.
Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis. Kevin writes, why are the Knicks' future coaches between Ramos and Blatt? That decision is the worse than the nerdy kid from Superbad choosing his name between McLovin and Muhammad. Phil Jackson only wants his friends to get paid. All I hear is Ram is such a nice guy, but how does it translate when he only won 65 games in his head coaching career? If Blatt is the coach, I fear the players not respecting his ass and not giving a damn when he draws plays. This is what has to come to watching my favorite team, the New York Lakers, Knicks.
Well, in fairness, we were so excited to get Phil Jackson, and we'd be even more ecstatic to have him as coach. Why are we against him having a puppet as a coach?
Blatt was a legend in Europe, so it's not like, he's
so
he's got
was
some
David
clout.
Hasselhoff.
True. But he's got some clout. I think the players will recognize that.
I agree. I actually think, and also I feel like, Blatt I think makes sense if you're trading Melo. Go for a young team that's going to look up to him more. I feel like Melo. I feel like it's also what sucks in the NBA is coaching a superstar or coaching Melo's not superstar. Coaching a star player is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Melo's been coachable because he's been kind of buying into the triangle.
Yeah.
Bry.
Yeah.
Why were we so? What's wrong with having Phil Jackson's puppet as our coach?
Why? What?
Why? What's wrong with having Phil Jackson? Kurt Rambis is basically the idea is Phil Jackson's puppet.
Because I don't know.
How much does a coach even matter? How many more games do you win or lose because of a coach?
Not many.
I bet Kurt Rambis coaching the Warriors would still be pretty damn good.
Yeah, probably. I mean, coaching. Coach, you could overachieve as a coach, but if you have good players, you're kind of just like you look at what's his name in Detroit. He's a pretty good coach, and he has shitty players.
Van Gundy, I like Van Gundy.
Yeah. Or like you said, Thibodeau in Minnesota.
Yeah, I guess coaching definitely does matter. It just
what's it? The Celtics, Brad Stevens. I mean, they don't really have anybody great.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about what's going on in the playoffs?
Sure.
Why don't we go through do you want to go through the second round, Jay, real quick, and say our predictions?
Sure. I guess
we're talking about the NBA, and there seems to be the playoffs going on.
Yeah, I guess everyone knows what's going on with the first. Know what happened in the first round. We don't need to recap who won and all that.
Yeah, I think people can follow the internet.
Yeah. Okay. So we got second round Cavs Hawks.
Cavs Hawks. I'm gonna say the Cavs are gonna win this because the NBA is already predetermined. We already know what's gonna happen anyway. So I'm gonna say the Cavs in 6.
Did the Hawks just lose tonight?
No, it's still going on.
Okay.
I'll go Cavs in 5.
Schroeder's having a big game.
I'll say Cavs in 5 as well.
I don't think 5. There's the Hawks are going to get at least 6.
Is this game 1 tonight?
Yeah.
Game 1 is tonight, yes.
According to Skip,
you know why they're going to get? Because they have fast guards, and Cavaliers are terrible against fast guards.
that is true. According to Skip Bayless, the Cavs are going to sweep because the Hawks don't have anybody as good as LeBron, Irving, or Love. Which
Love?
I guess he thinks Horford and Millsap are worse than Love.
Yeah, that seems like a kind of a stretch.
Yeah. That seems like one of those, I'm going to say something totally out there so people talk about my crazy statement. And it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Well, he's leaving ESPN, so he'll fade into oblivion.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
He's going to Fox Sports, I think.
I mean, how much is it really? I guess they're competing these different sports networks by like buying the. Like, how much do you give a crap of where Skip Bayless goes?
I give 0 craps. I think he's terrible.
If Stephen A. went to NBC Sports, would it make much of a difference? Would you tune into NBC Sports to hear Stephen A.?
No, I don't follow, I don't think there's any guy where I would, switch whatever station I'm watching to follow him. I guess there are people that are really loyal and would, but I don't know.
I just don't think them having. I'm trying to think of which commentators have a big personality. There aren't that many that have big enough. Like Stephen A. is probably the biggest personality of a commentator. Where you I don't know who's a bigger personality.
Is Bill Simmons a commentator?
He's starting a show on HBO.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
How many weeks is it going to be on before it gets canceled?
Probably. Well, HBO never cancels anything.
I just feel like the sports
Mr.
shows
Show.
don't do that well on that on HBO. And everyone's like, I'm going to bring my edge to it. I've seen Bill Simmons. He doesn't really have an edge to bring on.
The only edge is when he cries when the Patriots or Celtics lose.
Raptors Heat.
So I think I was going to pick the Heat because I want to pick against Steven. But I feel like the Raptors are going to beat them. I say Raptors in 7.
Who's got the home court?
Raptors.
I think Raptors, yeah. I thought the Heat was going to. The Heat almost lost to Charlotte.
Charlotte's a better team than the Pacers.
The Raptors almost lost to the Pacers.
The Raptors came even closer to losing. They
That's
came
true.
with one shady push under the net call away from losing that series. I'm going Heat in 6. Raptors look scared. They look like they didn't even want to play in the fourth quarter of that game.
Yes, Steven, take that.
They were walking up the court for the last 6 minutes of the game because they wanted to eat as much clock as possible. And then they would hold the ball until the last second just to eat up all 24 seconds. They had no confidence in their defense at all. And I think that's going to translate into the next series. Plus, fuck Drake.
Drake or Kurt Rambis coaching?
Rambis, I can't look at Drake.
What if oh, I guess you what if Kurt Rambis is going to make Porzingis only be allowed to post up?
I'm not saying Drake in any circumstance he could come
What
up
if Drake will run a more open pick and roll focused offense?
No, there's no situation which would make.
What
me
if
take
Drake says he wants I'm a defensive guru.
Well, then he's a liar.
He said, I'm going to do to defense what I've done to music.
Warriors, Trailblazers.
Oh, I'm going to take the Raptors in 6, by the way.
Oh, cool. It's great. We make these predictions, then we never check them. Warriors, Trailblazers. Ooh, I'm going to take Trailblazers in never. Warriors, 5 games, whether or not Curry plays.
Yeah.
I'm going sweep.
Yeah. I think Warriors are going to pull one off.
Blazers.
I think they actually should change it. They should if the Trailblazers win one game, they get to advance. Let's make it a little more even. What's the last one?
Spurs, Thunder.
Spurs in 4.
So game 1 was pretty close.
I realized how deep the Spurs were when they were rolling out their 11th and 12th man, and I was like, these guys would start on the Knicks. They're rolling out like Andre Miller and Kevin Martin. Those guys absolutely would start on the Knicks.
Bri, were you writing your rant about how Kevin Durant is overrated while watching Game 1?
No, I didn't actually watch Game 1, but I saw on Twitter that the Spurs are winning by like 20 in the first quarter, and I was just like, oh, yep, that's about what I expected.
And then in the fourth quarter, they brought out this 7'3" monster that I've never seen before, and he was good.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they're pretty good. I'm going to say the Thunder usually play them pretty well. I'm going to say they're going to pushes the 6. Spurs, of course, are going to win.
I'm going Spurs in 5.
Spurs in 3.
Spurs, Golden State. Who's winning?
Spurs in 3. The Thunder just quit after the third one.
The Thunder is like, we're not going to show up the game.
The Thunder moved back to Seattle.
Kevin Durant's like, Bry's right. I am overrated. I shouldn't sign anywhere. It doesn't even matter. I can't win with Westbrook.
The only thing I could win is a 50-cent lookalike contest.
I'm going to sign with the Golden State Warriors. Everyone else should. Shouldn't it be like illegal like the NBA should just step in there and just say, for the sake of competitiveness, Kevin Durant cannot sign with Golden State. If Chris Paul can be traded to the Lakers, they can stop Kevin Durant from signing with the Warriors.
If the Warriors just won 2 titles in a row, why would they even answer the phone when he called?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Like we just are proved to be one of the greatest teams ever.
Yeah, and then we got to hire this perennial loser.
Hi, this is Kevin Durant. You mean the perennial loser?
Click.
The problem is they'd have to gut their bench to get him. And
they don't need him.
Yeah, part of the reason they're so good is because they're so deep.
I mean, you almost want them to get Kevin Durant in some ways so they can gut their bench, but
Kevin Durant, he should just go to the Clippers with the other losers.
Do you find it weird that the Heat are not letting Bosh play?
Yeah. No,
they don't want him to die, that's why.
Yeah, they don't want him to die. What do you mean, Jay, I heard the doctor said he shouldn't do this if he wants to breathe air anymore.
Right. But I keep reading articles about how he's like, come on, guys.
Come on, guys. It'll be the best home game ever when I die.
Think of the ratings.
Donald Trump thinks it's a good idea.
Just think, for the rest of your lives, every time you play on this court, you're going to think about how I dropped dead right in front of all of you.
He's like, Wade, set me up. I'm going to die in midair. I don't understand why Bosh still wants to play. Can't he just be like, hey, I'm going to live instead?
Right. You'd think his wife would be like, shut up. You already made $200 million.
His wife's like, I like the pool boy. Let him die.
Let's see. We're at NY Knicks Podcast on Twitter. Strive writes.
Mets just won.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you that.
And
yeah.
I think the Hawks just lost, right?
That could have happened.
Probably.
Yeah. You have the Twitter?
Yeah, Strive writes. First of all,
are we up to date on the playoffs? How would you make the playoffs better?
I would go back to the every other day schedule. The Warriors
make the first round best of 5.
The Warriors play today.
Best of 5 would be so much better.
The Warriors play today and then don't play again until Friday. That's just terrible.
I remember the year. It was one of the years when the Lakers won with Shaq and Kobe, and they played. They played
2001.
Yeah, it was around then. I think it was their last year.
Who'd they beat?
I don't remember, but they played the Kings in the first round. It was a best of 5. They played Friday, Sunday.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, I swear to God. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? A week off in between the games?
Yeah, I feel like in the 90s, it was every other day, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lack of every other day. I mean,
which is what hockey's doing now. So I don't want to hear about all this. We can't travel and we can't get the media there. Like
they do it all year. They play every other day.
What?
Here's the thing with hockey:
all year long they play every other day.
Well,
you can't prove to me that hockey's doing every other day for the playoffs. If no one watches it, no one can prove it's actually happening.
Hey, oh shit! I watch it. Speaking of that,
I can't even find it on TV.
Penguins and Capitals are on.
Oh yeah, no one cares. It's 2-0 Penguins.
Good. Hate the Capitals. Capitals are the
Goddamn ice skaters.
the Capitals are the thunder of the NHL.
Why does Twitter be like who to follow? They think we would like to follow Kim Kardashian. Why?
Oh, I went on there and followed her sister. Is that not okay?
If you type their name too, like if you like tweet, like even if you tweet something, like you put like you don't even put like at her, you just put Kim Kardashian, like it'll be like, oh, you should follow her because you hate her.
I don't think I've done that for. They probably just say that to everybody on Twitter.
Well, you know what? I followed Donald Trump with that Twitter, so maybe that's why the next suggestion is like Kim Kardashian.
She has 45 million followers. This
Yeah,
world's
you
doomed.
love following assholes. Here, follow the Kardashians.
45 million.
This planet's doomed. Strive writes, would Knicks fans consider Vogel a better fit than Blatt?
I don't know. I don't know who would be better.
Either one would be better than Rambis. I think that's the important part.
I mean, is it? I don't understand though. If it's a done deal with Rambis, what is the negotiation? There's no one else is even trying to hire Kurt Rambis
To give the illusion
He's
that
trying to find a
search-
better job.
His best offer is like from MasterCard calling him.
He wants to give the illusion that he did a proper search.
But there's no illusion. Like no one thinks he did a proper search.
Well, he's insane. I don't know.
I don't understand what's going on here. I mean, just move past the story. Tell us we're in for Kurt Rambis, and we can. There can't be like the sides going back and forth. Like they can't agree on years.
Yeah. Strive writes, Alan Crabb over Bazemore for starting 2-guard. He has a second part, but we could answer that first. I would rather Bazemore than Crabb.
I also go with Bazemore, but I feel like he's going to be overpaid.
True. Should the Knicks sign Seth Curry over Galloway?
I think Galloway's pretty replaceable. But has Seth Curry done anything to make us think that he's that great either?
Isn't it like Curry plays offense but no defense, and Galloway does the opposite?
Yeah, I'd rather defense. I want to build a defensive focused team. So Galloway actually, I'd rather just keep Galloway. He doesn't cost us a lot. Why not? Why not just keep him?
He's got to fix that shot, though.
Oh, you don't think him just missing a lot of shots is helpful?
The 4-year-old writes, what can I do to be a super fan like Steven?
Listen to every episode.
Listen to every episode. Join the live chats.
Ask a lot of dumb questions.
Post in the Facebook groups. One guy's actually he's doing that for Brink. He's making a list of every episode and rating them all.
Oh,
Really?
Yes.
and I thought I had a lot of free time.
Andrew's doing that. And he's going to rate all the guest hosts, too. So
Please let me be the number one. Please let me be the number one.
I don't like the sound of that.
I hope he sends me that list because I'm really curious to see that.
Would it be really weird if he doesn't send you the list? He makes this whole list and he won't share with you.
He just taunts me with it.
It's for me only.
Only I will have the list of the best ones.
Andrew's doing that. I think he's now the number one super fan.
Yeah, Steven, you better catch up.
Yeah, you got to pick up the slack. And now the 4-year-old wants in on this. We could be up to like 5 fans before this is all said and done.
Whoa.
That would be. I mean, super fans though, they're like super delegates.
True. They're definitely worth at least 400 other fans.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should go to listen here, Mitsubishi. You should advertise your car with us because we have 5. That is 5 super fans.
And a couple of them are driving age.
That's right. At least 50% of them, maybe.
The 4-year-old writes, tell Marc that he and I have the same shitty humor. You guys have a good contrast of funny and facts. Oh, and he said he left a review. Thank you, 4-year-old.
We got a review?
Well, that is a large step toward becoming a super fan.
There you go.
Yeah. I definitely don't have the facts.
Mark's
Jay
going to
definitely
look.
has the facts.
Yeah, I think I'm facts guy. Marc is going to look up the review while I continue talking. The 4-year-old writes, P.S. If you need a stats guy, I'm available even though I'm 4. I think it would be hilarious having a 4-year-old stats guy.
We could literally have a 4-year-old stat guy. He's sleeping in the other room. Though I don't know if waking him would be a great idea right now. So, yeah, if this 4-year-old wants to come on instead, that'd be fine.
What's Galloway's 3-point percentage? I like monkeys. Thank you, 4-year-old stats guy.
I think a real 4-year-old, as my son would prove, would be he would just shout poop and like run around the room and break the computer.
You still pulling
I'm still looking it up. So I just
okay.
when I went to iTunes, there was a big picture of Drake.
I know he's got the #1 album right now. He bumped the Dandies out.
Could you play some Drake in case anyone doesn't know him?
Like I have that on my computer. What are you, insane?
Yeah, just look him on YouTube. Just play some Drake, please.
No.
Come on.
Facebook questions.
Wait, I'm doing Facebook questions, so I have to get to there.
Oh.
But is there another? Oh, that's SNY podcast. Let's find it. Most recent. Oh, this is going really fast. Great Knicks podcast. 5 stars. Andy for BK. February 20th. The hosts are very funny and provide excellent analysis of the Knicks. Thank you. And there was a January 16th, 19th one, which we probably... He said he just left a review. Why would the most recent review be February 20th?
The plot thickens, 4-year-old. Maybe he meant on Brink.
Fishy. Sounds fishy to me.
Maybe he left one on Brink.
Okay, I'll look on Brink instead.
Or maybe the 4-year-old just trolled us.
Or maybe the 4-year-old is not allowed to use iTunes.
Or maybe if he just left it, it takes 24 hours to post. And that tweet was from 47 minutes ago. So, no, he may have left one and it's not up yet.
Okay, so it'll be up on next episode.
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
And most recent Brink review, we're not getting a lot of reviews these days. It's from January 18th. So,
okay. Well, great.
Okay. Gillum writes, Porzingis was the first rookie in NBA history to accumulate 1,000 points, 500 rebounds, 100 blocks, and 75 three-pointers. And only Draymond Green and Al Horford did that this season. Both All-Stars.
I like it. Thank you,
Okay.
Stats Facebook guy.
Stats Facebook. Okay, Gillum, you have won the argument. We all like Porzingis.
You swayed me.
I also, when I wrote this, I asked who's more important to the Warriors, Green or Curry? Someone wrote, did you know there's a dish called green curry in Thailand? I thought that was pretty. Scott writes, LeBron or Curry?
I would go Curry at this point.
I am gonna still go LeBron. Well, I guess for one season or for 5 years. For 5 years, I go Curry. For one season, I still go LeBron. Because I still think LeBron could have the only thing I'd say LeBron is a much better defensive player than Curry.
Yeah. I mean, LeBron he's a great passer, but he was never on a 73-win team.
Yeah, but he's never had this team that the Warriors had.
Yeah, he's only been on a super team for the last 6 years.
I'm pretty sure if you replaced Curry with LeBron, they'd still win 73 games.
I don't think so.
You don't. What, 72?
Who's going to be their point guard? Chalmers?
LeBron, he could be their point guard.
Bry,
I think they'd still be pretty damn good.
Of course they'll be pretty good.
Bry, are you still on the show?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm just
You
laughing
meditating?
at myself at what you were talking about.
Okay. What do you take, LeBron or Curry?
Well, tonight I would take LeBron because Curry's hurt.
Scott goes on to ask, if Roten develops a shot with Allen Houston, will he be a quality point guard?
Does he still turn over the ball a lot and suck on defense?
I thought Roten was supposed to be a good defensive player.
I don't think he's good at anything.
You just hate anyone that has the word Knicks attached to them.
Well, we need some good players. I like Porzingis.
Yeah, I thought Roten's not supposed to be that bad of a defensive player. Yeah, if he could shoot, that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
And Scott also asked, what would you give up to get a late first-round pick? Also, Scott writes, what would you give up for a Klondike bar?
Kurt Rambis.
What do you think for a first-round pick? What would be a reasonable offer?
Probably anyone except Lopez.
Well, no, but what's a reasonable? Just say not anyone. Who can we actually trade and get something for?
Okay. Aflalo.
We can't. He has to opt in then.
He opts in, and then you trade him for a first-round pick.
I don't think anyone's going to go give you a first round for Aflalo. He's a high second rounder at best.
I don't know. We got a first-rounder for Hardaway Jr.
Yeah, but he had more potential. I mean, he's also he's on the early, he's young. Hey, you want a guy that's past his prime, wasn't even that great in his prime?
Well, then we can't get a first-rounder.
Think more creatively.
I just picked our fourth best player.
What will you trade? Okay, so the Knicks have their first-round pick next year.
Who are you going to trade?
Galloway?
Or...
Hang on. Would you trade this first-round pick from 2017? What would you need to get back this year to trade that pick?
Not.
What? I mean, if they offered
I'm not trading that pick.
Okay, if the Warriors said we'll give you Steph Curry for the 2017 first-round pick,
I'm sure they'll do that.
I'm just saying, there's a bar. There's something.
If they're gonna do that, then his knee's probably shut.
Yeah.
It's like his obituary is coming out.
He's in jail. Oh yeah, we'll trade him. Yeah, no problem.
What if the Raptors would give you Kyle Lowry for the first-round pick?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you kidding me?
Did you see this playoff series? He's been absolutely terrible. I don't need a guy who has one good regular season and then sucks in the playoffs.
Okay. What about what's a decent?
It would have to be a pretty damn good player.
You're really overvaluing this pick, huh?
Yeah, because I'm thinking about right now where we have to fill 5 months of podcasts with no draft pick. It's just miserable.
I like how you focus on the podcast, not the team.
Well, it's hard to hey, let's talk an hour about absolutely nothing. And then people get mad when we don't record it.
What could we get?
Yeah, here we are, 52 minutes into the show.
Unibrow for the first round pick.
Sure.
Who's a reasonable guard to get?
Beal?
Okay, Jeff Teague.
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Gillum writes, "You seem to really hate on Sasha."
Yep.
But
Next
but
question.
he's going to defend him. But I think it's a bit unfair. Gillum really challenges us and stuff. He's been really at it the last couple of weeks, so really challenges on everything. First, he was never behaved badly like JR did. Mm-hmm. For example, who deserved all the hate and more. Secondly, he plays hard and gives full effort. It's not his fault that he's not better. Well, I mean, there's something about practicing.
Yeah, but in all honesty,
Third, yes, he won a few games without scoring or making a three.
5 weeks.
But he finished the season with a 36% from 364% from three, with the last month's shooting it actually pretty well, much better than the first 2 months. He improved significantly as he got in better NBA shape, enough that I wouldn't mind keeping him to be part of the bench unit. Ooh, take that with facts, Jay. I'm going to verify these Sasha numbers.
I mean, I don't think the fact that he didn't act up and he plays hard is reasons to want the guy on the team.
Well, I mean, those are actually reasons for most players.
I mean, if I was on the Knicks, I wouldn't act up and I would play hard. But you wouldn't want me on the Knicks.
You wouldn't want me getting angry.
You wouldn't want me throwing up air balls.
His numbers this year, I mean, in fairness, he shot 36% after being terrible at the beginning of the year. 36% is not bad from three.
He went 5 weeks shooting 0%.
He shot 38% from the field in general, which is pretty bad.
Look at his February and March. I think he shot 0% for that entire.
I mean, that could be true.
Pretty sure it's true.
Pretty sure it's true. He averaged 4.9 points a game, which is like amazing. You want me to do his splits?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Here we
Which
go.
month did he shoot 0%?
Okay.
That should end the argument right there.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So here's the months. 33, 23, 30, 45, 25 for February, 44 and 50% from April. So yeah, he was pretty awful in February.
I don't even know how he's 25%. He went a month shooting 0%.
His November numbers, it's only 10 games, but 23% from the field and 0.095% from three.
9.5%.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up.
You can't read things.
I can't read anything. Yes, JJ's right. Whatever. I'm getting an MBA. I know how to read percentages. I'm a moron.
Okay, can we move on?
Yeah, that's what we're addressing. Okay, the next question. Andrew writes, can we borrow purple shirt guy from Charlotte to fire up our players when they are playing bad? D-Wade hits his first 3-point shot since December after the heckling from him. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Hey, do you miss Jeremy Lin even more now?
Yes.
Insanity.
He'd be by far our best point guard. Like, not even close.
I'll take him back now.
Yeah.
Lin Sandy for our first round pick.
No.
Edward writes, is Wade done?
No, he's close to it, but he's not done.
Lin back to the Knicks.
I'd love that.
Dwight off to Dallas?
Do you really want Dirk's last year of his career to put up with Dwight?
Yeah. Spurs or Warriors?
Spurs.
Yeah. Gillum writes, do you want Willie Herzog-Gomez for next season? He played less at Real Madrid this season than he did the season before at Sevilla.
Yes.
I did not know that. Willie, they drafted him. He was a second-round pick. They're storing in Spain. I still would bring him over.
Right.
Let him develop the NBA.
He played in the Spanish league with Porzingis, and we drafted him, and we have his rights.
Okay.
So Phil only scouted one team?
Yeah,
seems like it. I guess I didn't realize Kurt Rambis used to coach in the Spanish league. Gillum writes, who would you rather sign based on ability and fit, not contract? And so he gives a bunch of verses.
Okay.
So Evan Turner versus DeRozan. Hey, what do you think about the fact that Steve, our resident Toronto fan, said DeRozan can't play defense and hogs the ball on offense? He's a ball stopper.
Well, not playing defense and being a shooting guard on the Knicks is nothing new.
Mm-hmm. We don't need another ball stopper.
I'd still go DeRozan over Turner.
I'd kind of go with neither, but
You have to pick one.
I'm gonna go Turner. Bri?
Who?
Okay. Noah or David Lee?
David Lee.
Noah.
Yeah, I'm going to Noah. Again, don't want either one. Courtney Lee versus Fournier.
Fournier.
Courtney Lee.
Who?
Jared Dudley versus Jeff Green.
Oof, this one's rough.
I don't want any of these players.
Um,
I'm going to go Green here.
I don't even know who these people are.
I guess Jeff Green.
Batum versus Bazemore.
Bazemore.
Batum is so overrated.
He's probably the most overrated player in the league.
Jennings versus Chalmers. Ooh, Jennings versus the greatest point guard to ever walk this earth. I think the problem with signing Chalmers is he's going to leave the NBA when Donald Trump needs him as his running mate.
I'd say Jennings by a hair. I like that question.
Yeah, I'm going with Jennings also. Gillum writes,
Gilliam's the
thank you,
MVP
Gillum.
for this episode.
Yeah, MVP, absolutely. Gillum writes, based just on the fact that we now we have Porzingis, are we in a better position compared to when Phil took over? Yeah, I would say absolutely.
No, because he wasted all that money on Melo.
Yeah, but we have a guy to build around for our future.
Yeah, but we had a pick that could have been a number 1 pick.
No, we didn't. Phil didn't trade that.
No, but we had it. All we had to do was lose 1 extra game.
It's not Phil's fault that Derek Fisher couldn't lose those games. It's not Phil's fault that Tim Hardaway was like, yeah, it's not
He
like
tried
Phil's
like
fault.
hell to lose them all.
Yeah, he put Tim Hardaway out there. Who knew Tim Hardaway was going to hit a shot?
I'd say we were in a better position before.
You think the Knicks without Porzingis was better?
Bryce said it. We could have not re-signed Melo.
And then what? We'd be terrible, and we wouldn't have a draft pick.
He could have signed and traded
Why wouldn't
Melo.
you?
Not that we would not try. We wouldn't have had. Having Porzingis is better than what we were before.
He could have
We have a
signed
guy that
Melo without the no
cornerstone to
trade
build around the team.
clause. He could have
I wanna
signed
talk
Melo
about
without
the
the no
position.
trade clause and then traded him for a draft pick.
Yeah, but you might not have gotten a guy as good as Porzingis.
No, you would have the Porzingis pick and the pick from trading Melo. Double draft pick.
Maybe you know what? Maybe we would have drafted someone else. Maybe Phil Jackson was smart to draft Porzingis. I mean, who else thought about drafting Porzingis
Me.
besides you? I set you up there. I'm going to go yes. Gillum writes, who would you feel better about paying $25 million over 4 years in order? Conley, DeRozan, or Batum?
That order.
I'm going to say Conley, then I'm going to choke on my own vomit as I name DeRozan and Batum. I don't want any of those guys for $25 million a year.
True.
I don't really want Conley either.
No, Conley's what, 30?
Yeah, I'm going to build a young team. You have to be under 27 or younger for the Knicks to sign you going forward. I want to get draft picks. I want to just rebuild. We're terrible anyway every year. Let's just do a full rebuild. See how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Gillum writes, would you mind keeping Rambis as an assistant or offensive coordinator to Blatt?
I'd rather not, but I wouldn't be upset as long as he's not head coach.
I don't think there's a scenario in the history of sports where a guy that was coach became the assistant coach and it worked out.
He's interim.
How much tension is there going to be? Like the guy who was coach and now he's assistant coach.
Herb Williams did that like 20 times.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
interim's
interim.
different.
That's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, Rambis is interim.
Oh, whatever.
Rambis has never
I
been the
don't-
head coach. He's interim.
I wouldn't mind having Rambis on the team. Yes, you can make Rambis the coach or get rid of him. And also, why is he going to be the offensive coach? Like, not like the offense was any good under Rambis.
He's the triangle man.
Jay writes, great, the Warriors are even without Curry.
You just massacred that sentence.
Oh, how great the Warriors are even without Curry.
Yeah, I was surprised they won that big without Curry.
Kareem writes, will the Clippers ever have luck in the playoffs?
No.
Nope.
Not while they have Chris Paul. Gillum writes, had the Clippers played a full healthy Curry less Warriors for all the series, who would have won? That's an interesting one.
The Clippers would have a better chance without Paul and Griffin to beat the Warriors than they would with him.
Really? The Clippers are better without Chris Paul and Blake Griffin?
Yeah. What have they done with him?
I'm not going to debate this. Grant writes, according to SB Nation, Drake is the most annoying sports fan. Thoughts?
SB Nation is correct.
SB Nation, we agree. Actually, I don't really mind Drake at all.
I don't
I
get
have
it.
I have no vendetta against him. I'd be happy if you changed the Knicks theme song to a Drake song. Would you mind?
I love having vendettas against people.
I had a dream last night that I met him and I took a selfie with him just to piss you guys off.
You didn't really have that dream.
I did. I had some weird.
It would have pissed you off more than us.
Are you,
I don't even know who Drake is.
That up, or like you really had that dream?
No, I had some weird ass dreams last night.
What if
I had a dream I was hanging out? Also, I was hanging out with Louis C.K. and he was telling me all this weird shit, and I was like getting uncomfortable.
Like, what was he telling you?
Which was
that was probably real.
Yeah, that's probably what really would happen.
Speaking of Louis C.K., has anybody watched Horace and Pete or whatever it is?
I've not. I saw one clip they had online, and the clip was pretty awful.
Really?
It wasn't awful. I mean, like it was like okay. It was just a bunch of. It was like they had guys discussing something, but it was just like basically Louis C.K. was doing a rant, but having the people talk out the rant. I don't know. It could be good. I don't want to pay $5 an episode for a Louis C.K. show.
It's $5 an episode?
No, the first one's $5. He was on Howard Stern a couple weeks ago. He said the whole thing is $31. It's like $5, then $3, then $2, then $3, then $3, then $3, or something like that.
Why the bizarre pricing?
I don't know.
I wonder how well they'll do. You know what? Here's the reason. Also,
but the problem is that I don't want to pay $5 for something. I have no idea what it is.
And there's 6 episodes, and it costs you $30.
No, I think there's 10.
Also,
he made 10.
Do you want to do it and then have this become a popular way to like distribute stuff? Like I understand the artists aren't making money, but at the same time, then I'm going to pay $30 for every show I want to watch.
I've been saying this for a while now. Everyone's doing their own original content and all this. It's getting to the point where it's going to be more expensive than your expensive cable subscription.
Yeah, because now you have Netflix.
I was looking into getting rid of my cable, and it's like, oh well, you get like. You get Apple TV or you get whatever, and then you get like the HBO app and you get the other. Well, the HBO app is $10 a month, and the Showtime is $10 a month, and by the time you add all that shit up, it comes out to the same.
Yeah, and then if you want to get
you still have to pay for internet. It's not like you're not getting.
Yeah,
exactly. And then Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all this other crap. It's like, well, now you're back up to $70.
The only thing you can do is that you get like other people, and then you share the accounts.
Yeah.
Either that, or you just say, you know what, I'm not watching TV anymore.
And you see all these channels like
Jay,
FX.
don't get mad, man.
FX is like, oh yeah, download our free app, and then you go on and you want to watch something, and the first thing it says is, well, log in with your cable company.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't have a cable company, then it's not a free app anymore.
Yeah. It's not that I'm not watching TV. It's just I'm picking one thing, and if the show isn't on there, well, then we don't get to talk about it at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also half the time I just watch the Knicks if the Knicks are playing, or the Mets if the Mets are playing. I don't know. I don't follow half the shit on TV anymore. I realize I only pay for cable for the Mets, the Knicks, and like kid programming, which you could probably get off of I can find Umi Zumi on Amazon Prime.
Well, that's why I have a cable subscription, so I could get the Knicks. And so now, all right, I have cable, so I'll watch what's on cable. If it's on Hulu or Netflix, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, the NBA playoffs are on cable, so you can watch that. Going back to the NBA,
Spurs were down huge right away, and they already almost came back.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of suck that it's always so few teams dominate the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, we could have told you the conference finals before the season started and gotten 3 out of the 4 teams right.
Yep.
I wish there was a way to improve the NBA to make it more competitive. I don't know how you would do it, but it would be.
You have to get less teams. You have to get rid of 8 teams,
or maybe go to a hard cap so you can't fill a team with these many good players.
Yeah, I think a couple less teams and a hard cap would do it.
Because right now it's brutal. It's brutal to go in the year.
I mean, there's at least half the league that has no their goal is to be the 8th seed at with 35 wins.
I know it'd be nice if we can get there.
It's like, hey guys, we have a $65 million cap unless all these weird rules, and then you have a $200 million cap.
Yeah, unless you're the Mavericks and you pay $300 million.
Yeah.
They were saying, what were they talking about? They were talking about the Yankees on the radio, and they were saying how, like, the Yankees are gonna have trouble filling seats because you can't just lose and like keep filling the seats.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, except in the NBA for the Knicks, no matter how bad they are, they seem to fill the seats no matter what.
Well, they get you with that is because it's like, well, you better buy your season tickets because if we ever get good, you're not going to be able to get them. So like people just buy season tickets hoping that in 5 years they're going to be good so that they'll have season tickets in 5 years.
But it's the sales pitch. You better buy your season tickets because one day the Knicks will be good. Ah!
Like I was looking into buying the season tickets for the Mets this year, like a partial plan and everything. And like the thing that got me was like, you're guaranteed playoff tickets if you get them. And I'm like, yeah, because I wanted to go to the playoffs last year and I didn't. So now I really, but I didn't buy them.
Yeah. Well, you might.
But that's how they lure you in, with like, oh, you don't want to get on the waiting list because the waiting list is 7,000 years long.
You want to rant more against the NBA, Bri? It's also the only sport that has the officials have this much. It's the only sport where it's the only sport where like the rules change every like 2 minutes. Like, yeah,
was that a foul or was that not a foul?
Like in baseball, you have like the balls and strikes can be a little off, but like it's usually consistent from team to team. Yeah. In playoffs, you have or just basketball in general, you're like, well, LeBron gets different calls than other players get because that's just how the NBA works. And you're like, what?
The guy just died on the court, but no foul.
Yeah, that's my big gripe about
Jeremy
the NBA.
Lin was murdered, severed with a knife. No foul.
I can name 4 finals that were significantly influenced by the refs, and I can't think of one other sport that's like that.
It's always anytime there was that game when the Knicks had that one good year when they won 54 games. They played the Pacers, and one of the games the Knicks had 45 fouls and or 45 free throw. The Pacers shot 45 free throws, and the Knicks shot like 10. And they were like, and Knicks fans were like, well, the refs kind of screwed us. And they're like, you can't complain about the refs. And you're like, come on, the Knicks had that many more fouls.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're done.
Yeah. Done recording Knicks ever podcast. I don't know. Are we going to be back? Are we going to keep doing them every other week at the playoffs? We're not doing every week, right?
I don't think we can do every other week. Every week, if we do a show again in 2 weeks, then the second round will be over, and we can talk about the conference finals, which will be the Warriors, Spurs, and the
Cavs and a bye.
Yeah, the Cavs and whoever they're going to stomp in the conference finals.
I love the Knicks, but I can't get enough into the playoffs to really want to talk that much about to spend 2 hours talking about the playoffs every week. For an hour.
I'm usually way more into the playoffs, but I just feel like the Spurs and Warriors are so much better than everybody. It's like it's taking out all the intrigue until the conference finals. There
was for a couple of years in the mid 2000s when or mid like 2005 was 6, 7 when basically when it's the Celtics, Magic, Cavs when they were all competing and you didn't actually know who'd go to the finals. That was kind of cool, at least.
Yeah, that was a great 2 years.
There hasn't been a year in a while where you didn't know. I mean, last year the Warriors came out. You didn't expect the little Warriors to go to the finals.
No.
Right.
Not the beginning of the year, anyway.
Not the beginning of the year. There hasn't been that many years where, like, the two teams... The NFL is amazing because the NFL, no matter what you pick, a lot of times it's just two teams you didn't expect from at the beginning of the year to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And hockey's like that, too. You get a hot goalie, and all of a sudden, an 8th seed makes the Stanley Cup Finals.
Baseball, the Mets were in the World Series. No one expected that last year.
No.
NBA, I don't know. It could be LeBron, or maybe Sir James, or maybe King James, or maybe...
The Mets were in the World Series last year?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I live in New York and didn't know that.
You're kidding. Come on.
No.
You didn't know the Mets were the World Series last year.
I am that uninterested in baseball that
we were doing the podcast. We talked about it on the show.
I glaze over as soon as you mention baseball.
Oh my god! Yeah, they went to the World Series. They lost, but they went to the World Series.
Oh yeah, I remember you like so distracted.
I missed the show because I was like, I'm going to the World Series tonight.
Right.
Okay, I wonder what Marc's doing.
He said he's going somewhere, and then I just glazed over. I don't know.
He was here a minute ago. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that episode's not very good because like I make comments and Mark never responds. Yeah.
All right, so we're at NY Knicks Podcast on Instagram and Vine and Twitter and
Pornhub.
Facebook, and then nyknickspodcast@gmail.com. The website is thenewyorknickspodcast.com.
The New York Knicks Podcast.
You can buy a shirt. They're reasonably priced and they're high quality.
If you're looking for our homepage on Pornhub, type in Cleveland Steamer.
So thanks for joining us, Bri.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
And
It's a pity I'll never be on again, but that's okay.
Next.
If you like Bri, he is part of our comedy show, The Brink of Sanity. You can find that brinkofsanityshow.com, or you can find that on iTunes. And we will probably be doing a new episode sometime this week.
And if you want to hear more anti-basketball talk, write in to have me on again.
Cliffhanger. Breyer revealed his top 2 reasons for hating the NBA. Tune in to next week's Brink episode to find out what reason number 3 is.
I have to think of one.
Next
it's
week
probably
on
'cause they're all
our
black.
Next week on our comedy podcast, Bri gives his top 3 reasons he hates comedy.
Then I'm going to give my top 3 why I hate podcasting, my top 3 why I hate Mark, my top 3 why I hate Jay, my top 3 why I hate the human race. I have a lot of things I hate.
See, we got the whole season planned out.
That's right. Yeah, it's gonna be a long season.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
It gets really boring when Jay Bryce is like, yeah, I mean, paper clips. They're not even made out of paper.
What's the deal with paper clips? They're not paper. They're not clips.
Why
Brian
do they have 3
Rockets, the new
curves?
Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, end the show.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody.
Nothing.
Napa know-how.
A Napa guy knows more isn't always better, unless we're talking about full-size vans. These beasts do more than get you from A to B. They have so much space a man can live in it. With shag carpeting, waterbed, and a sweet lava lamp, these mobile abodes have all the comforts of home. With quality parts and plenty of Napa know-how, you can keep the original tiny house running longer, stronger. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Yo, everybody get up! Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group. Just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost a sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.